Morning, ladies. Last week I put up 2 videos of different styles of face mask. The Joann's face mask, which is the one with the pleats, and the Sweetbread Poppy face mask, which is a more fitted, contoured shaped mask. And I mentioned in the notes that I had made a few adjustments because I thought there were some shortcomings in both of those patterns, and I'm going to go through those with you today. We'll start with the Joann's face mask, the one with the pleats. And the 2 improvements that I thought it could do with were that I thought it was better to have 2 different fabrics, one on either side, than to use a folded piece of fabric, both the same, simply so that you know which bit has been next to your face and which bit has been outside. And the second thing is that it doesn't have a piece of metal at the top of the mask to allow you to shape it around your nose and cheeks, and I thought that would be very important. So I have added those 2 features in. To make a mask with 2 different fabrics, one on either side, you're going to have to adjust the pattern slightly. You'll be cutting out 2 pieces of fabric, and instead of them being 6 1/4 by 9, they will be 6 1/2 by 9, which is allowing a 1/4 inch seam allowance at the bottom. In order to make the pleated part a little bit less bulky to sew at the end, I suggest that when you're cutting out your interfacing, that you cut it a 1/4 inch smaller all round. So your 2 pieces of interfacing should be 8 1/2 inches by 6 inches. You can see here where I've ironed on the interfacing, and there's a clear 1/4 inch all the way around, which will correspond with the seam allowance, meaning that there won't be 4 layers of bulk when we turn the mask the right way out. To make the channel for the metal nose shaper, you'll need to cut a piece of fabric 8 1/2 inches long and 1 1/2 inches deep. At one end of that, you'll fold a double fold to the wrong side and stitch it down, and then fold the whole thing right sides together, and at the other end sew along the end. Then you fold it the right way out, iron it flat, and you have the basis of your little channel. Pin the channel with the open edge to the top edge of one of the pieces of fabric, and then sandwich it between the 2 pieces of fabric when you're sewing them together according to the instructions on the Joann's video. At the bottom edge, you're going to leave a little opening so that we can turn the whole thing inside out when it's complete. Follow the instructions on the video for including the elastic that goes around your ears. Then turn the whole thing the right side out, and you can pin the channel that we added in down onto the front of the mask and stitch along the top of the mask on the lower edge of the channel. Then at the bottom of the mask, sew close to the edge to close off the little gap that you left for turning the mask the right way out. Put the pleats into the mask following along with the Joann's video, and then at the very end you need to get a piece of florist wire or jewellery wire or garden wire, or even a piece of tinfoil folded over and over and over again to put into the channel at the top that will allow you to shape the mask around your nose and cheeks. Curl the ends round so there's no sharp edges, and the advantage of having the channel and the wire on the outside is that if and when it breaks or starts to tarnish or whatever, you can remove it and replace it.
So these are my pieces for the other mask, what my friend calls the duck mask. And again, I have added interfacing. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there's a little overlap there on the edge. It's just another layer of protection, and particularly because it's non-woven, it's bonded. So I have ironed it on all of them. This time I haven't bothered leaving a 1/4 inch exposed because we won't be trying to put pleats in these or anything, so they're fine being the same size.
For this mask, we're going to make exactly the same channel for the nose shaper as we did for the Joann's mask. And after you've joined the 2 pairs of front and back together. You're going to pin on the channel in exactly the same way along the top edge of one piece with the raw edges facing to the top. The channel for the wire is going to get stitched in as the middle of the sandwich between the front and the back of the mask. I should also say at this stage too that because I prefer the elastic earpieces, I put those in to this mask in the same way as is shown in the Joanne's video for the pleated mask. When the mask is the right way out, stitch the shaper channel down in the same way as you did on the Joanne's mask and add the wire as before. The most important thing about any mask is that you wear it correctly and that you remove it correctly. And to make sure that people understand how to do that, anybody that I've given a mask to, I have also sent them this little summary of the instructions from the World Health Organization about the use of masks so that everybody is absolutely clear how to use them safely.